Before we start the video, I just want to announce about my new initiative for the Seahorse Trust. I'm designing Seahorse merch, mainly t-shirts and hoodies. First one was No Bright Lights Please, which has sold quite successfully to date. And now I've decided to contact designers around the world and see if they'll do limited edition designs for the Seahorse Trust. The first is by Justin Carmack, aka Critter Hunter of YouTube fame. Check out his channel, and he's designed this shirt for us now. It's limited to 100 items, so there's only t-shirts or hoodies. So once we've sold 100, that design is no longer available, and that explains why it's slightly higher priced than the other items. So please help me support the Seahorse Trust and buy some merch. Now let's get into it. Hi everyone, just another little quick video before I set off for the Maldives. I'm not rubbing it in, but I just thought I'd go through some of the safety equipment that I take with me, particularly for the Maldives. The diving there can be very similar to the Muslim Dam, where we like to dive every month, COVID permitting, except it's a lot clearer. You can see a lot more. The reefs are much more beautiful because you have great visibility in the Maldives. But what's similar is you can get really bad strong current. Maldives is a bit better in that they plan it, the Donny drops you in, you go along and they pick you up. But I have had a couple of instances in the past. One was just the year before last, 2019. We dropped off onto a really nice drift dive. While we were underwater, a squall came in, rain everywhere. We were on the surface. By the time it cleared, we were well out of sight of any boat. We were in the water quite some time, I would say probably 30 minutes or so, and then we came up and we actually went past and where the liverboard was anchored. So I had a torch with me, put it on, was signalling, and there was no one looking out. Thankfully, the Donny captains are very experienced in the Maldives. This Donny captain had a really good idea where we'd be, and he did find us and pick us up. But again, the torch did help him. I spoke to him afterwards. He said, yeah, flashing the torch gave me something to see very, very quickly. After that, I thought, right, you know, I'm going to be a bit more prepared in case I haven't got a Donny captain as good as that. So I'm just going to talk you through what I'm taking with me. What do I take with me? Well, number one, in the Maldives, you need a reef hook, especially in the current diving. If there's some good, if you're say where sharks are swimming by, or a shark station as I call them, a lot of the time you'll just hook this off. I'm not going to unravel it. Hook it off onto your BCD, and you're just sitting there taking your pictures or just watching the big stuff go by. Essential. Don't worry if you can't find them before you go. Most dive boats will have them for sale on there. They don't generally have them for rent. My second go-to is this, what I call superb DSMB. This is made by AP Valves. And why do I like it? Why do I call it superb? Because it's nice and big, and it comes with an air bottle, right? Yeah, you might think that's lazy. You might think, oh, what, you're not a very good diver. But when you're in a raging current and you want a quick pickup, right, you don't want to be messing around, inflating through, or using your octopus. Use that up. The other thing I like about this, I use a wing BCD, and if you're going to be in the water for any length of time, you are going to tend to be going forward. So what I do, I just put this underneath, right, no air's getting out, and I just rest on the surface. And it puts me higher, and I'm nice and relaxed, not worrying about trying to keep up with it. I carry two. I've got reels. I've got a really long reel in case I do need to release to depth. I shouldn't have to. There's a 30-meter limit in the Maldives anyway, and that's my regular reel. And then this is really, I'm in the ship SMB, delayed SMB. It's yellow, as you can see. It has a whistle on it. It has a food grade dye. They call it dive soft dye. I can put that in the water, and the water around me will have a big patch. And then finally, I have my signalling mirror on there. That's, when that goes up, you're in the ship. Remember, technical divers, yellow for peril, right? Torch is essential. I take two torches with me for night dive and stuff, but in the day, I generally have a smaller torch than this, but I left all my small torches and other torches in the Philippines because I didn't know COVID was going to happen, so I thought I'd just be back in Dubai for a couple of months, go back to the Philippines, left it all with my friend there, and guess what? I haven't been back for over a year, obviously. As I say, it's a bit bigger than I normally keep for the day dive. I use these on the night dives. They also double up as pretty good video lights because you can I think I did a review on this. I think you get 100 degrees. Great battery life on them. Really bright. We can dim it down. We can go onto like a strobe effect as well. I'll probably use this now as my main drift diving torch. You know, I can clip it off. I also carry a strobe with me. I got this from Dive Gear Express. I'm not sponsored by them, I know I keep mentioning, but you get at least 8 hours of that flashing away. I know it's at least 8 hours. Before you go, change the cells, even if you've not used them. You know, it takes 2 C cells, get good quality ones, and you should be okay. What I really like about it, with what I've done there, I can just hook that on the top of one of my delayed SMBs, and I can just raise it up so people can see. You couldn't do that with a torch because the torch should be going down. So you can just put that up there and it helps. I mean, this isn't just for drift diving in the Maldives, but you know, I find a lot of divers today not carrying compasses. Come on, please carry a compass when you jump in the water. Get a quick bearing back to the boat or whatever. So at least you kind of get an idea of what, I mean, in the Maldives you should have done at least your advanced open water course, so you did learn the basics of navigation and just practice using it. I like these, I can just sight a bearing on there, or you can just set that, and then when you want to come back the same direction, you just go, you know this already, right? But I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs, but I find people are not really thinking about that. And now these are the really more high-tech stuff, call them toys, call them what you want, but for me they are lifesavers. The first one is the Nautilus Lifeline. This is the first one that came out. I'll just talk you through it and then tell you an issue that I've got with it, which I hope I can fix tonight. I do have the latest one sitting there waiting for me at home in the UK. Again, like with my new dive computer, COVID has scuppered that. So, but this is the one I have been using. It's a great little device, waterproof to 425 feet. That's over 100 meters, I guess. It'll be on the screen. When you get to the surface, you're in distress or you know your boat's around somewhere, flip out the antenna. On here, you press that, it comes on, and there I am. I'm on channel 6.8, so I can depress that and talk to the boat nice and calmly on channel 6.8. The boat's not around, I can press this one and talk on channel 16. What am I going to be doing? I'm either going to do a pan or a mayday diver in distress. And then if I don't get any response on that, I can lift this little red tab, hit that, and then all hell hopefully will break loose. Coast Guards around the world will pick up that signal, and as long as that keeps transmitting, which I think is for over 8 hours, then they're going to find you and pick you up. I did have an issue with this. I tried it at the weekend. It was not working. I did a firmware update and it is now working. The new model is much more modern, a much improved version, but for me, absolutely essential. Yeah, I will put a carabiner on there. I'm going to take it because it'll be in my pocket. It comes in this nice holder, which you could clip off on your BCD, but again, I don't like things hanging off. I've not used it now for quite a while. And the final thing that I take with me is my personal locator beacon. And I don't take this underwater, I just keep this with me in my dive bag, so when I'm on the Donny or the liverboard. I mean, in recent years there have been some couple of liverboard incidents with them sinking, catching fire. So with this, I've got it registered with the UK Coast Guard. I'm not going to activate it obviously, but you just pull the tab, pull the strip and hit the button. Hopefully the UK Coast Guard gets that because it's registered with them. They will then know my position, get in contact with the UAE Coast Guard, the Maldives Coast Guard, the Philippines Coast Guard, wherever I am in the world. Really worth it. And it doubles up for me. I've got my own boat, so I keep this on the boat as well, and then when I travel I take it away. Yeah, how do I carry all this stuff? I've got a pair of tech shorts. Right, I'm not going to bore you. There's lots of videos online about what to put in what pocket and other, you know, just look at those. GUE seem to have some good advice, but I've got these. I mean, it does weight them down a bit. So what I've done is I ordered a pair of dry suit braces and I stitched them on. So it's not going to, I've got them up all the time. That's how I carry my stuff. Hi everyone, another clip from the Maldives. On my diving safety video, I missed a couple of items. The first thing that I just wanted to talk about was dive computers. So I carry 2 computers. both set to the same mix. So if one fails, I can continue diving with the other. Quite simple really, because if not, then I'm going to have to completely off gas and start again and miss some diving. The trips are relatively expensive and I want to dive as much as possible. And remember, the diving's quite deep. The off-gassing time could be quite a lot. Well, you're going to have to at least be 24 hours out of diving. I also have a third computer, which is attached to my regulator on the SBD. The reason I have that is I have that one on air, and I try and do every dive based on an air profile to give me extra safety. I'm overweight, I'm old, I'm not fit, so if I can dive all the dives on an air profile, then the nitrox, which is usually 30 or 31%, I'm using as an additional safety factor. One thing you will have seen in my videos on the UAE and ones to come here in the Maldives is I use this fluorescent hood. I'm not sure where you get them anymore. I've got a couple I've had for a few years, and you will see, or have seen, and you'll see in the videos, this really works well when you're on the surface and underwater. The other thing that I've done is I've put reflective stickers on my fins. I'm quite an old-fashioned diver, so it was always black. If I was buying fins again, I'd buy yellow or white, and the simple reason for that is you can see them much easier from a distance. So when you're diving deep in strong drifts and you're trying to keep an eye on everyone, the person who's got white or yellow fins is much easier to spot. And finally, this, you're going to say, is that safety equipment? I'm talking about hydration. I bring an aluminium water bottle with me. On the boat there's water everywhere, lots of plastic cups, but I like to keep this filled because remember, you're diving hard, you're building up your dives very quickly, and keeping hydrated is a really good way to help prevent DCI or DCS. So bring a bottle with you. You can't get plastic bottles on the liverboards in Maldives anymore. You've got to bring your own, so you've got water available all the time. So that's it, that's the safety update from the Maldives. By the time you see this, I will be diving, and probably just on the last couple of days on my way back, when I will be uploading videos from the trip. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was useful. A little bit different take. I know I might have OCD on taking especially the locator device and the little Nautilus lifeline, but they, they're not essential, but they could save your life. And if you're spending so much going on liverboards to remote locations, you can spend a few £100 on a bit of extra safety equipment. Anyway, thanks for watching. A lot of good videos coming up on the Maldives. See you when I get back.